Welcome back to another episode. Ryan here with Chaos MMA, and today we have on Jack, the Joker Hermansson, who fights in the main event next weekend against Sean Strickland. Jack, first off, how are you doing, man?
I'm great, my man. All good here. I'm over here in Vegas, adapting, to the climate, to the time. So everything is going according to the plans.
Yeah, I remember when I interviewed you like before, and we talked about that, like going to Vegas, adapting the time. As it like you do it more, does it get better each time?
No, I feel like it's yeah, maybe exactly. It always sucks, but my approach has changed a little bit.
Okay.
Uh, Before I tried to get my training as close to my fighting time as quick as possible. And the problem with that is it takes time for your body to adapt. So you need to take it like a little bit more slowly, just step by step. Each day, push the training a little bit further, and that's what I'm doing now, and that feels a lot better. But it always sucks, and it always amazes me how different it is to come here and to train. Your heart rate is just shooting straight up, and you feel like your tongue and your throat gets dry from the dry air, and it's just a very weird experience. But I just have to trust the process, and by fight night, I'm gonna feel fine.
Yeah, no, that dry air is the worst feeling. But like you said, trust the process. You got a very fun matchup next weekend against Sean Strickland. Now, overall though, how has the training camp went for this one? Everything go well?
Um, it's all right. I've never, I have never been in a training camp so far that's where everything is perfect, and this one wasn't either. But overall, I feel well prepared,
Okay.
and I'm confident that I'm prepared enough. But I'm still looking for this flawless training camp where everything goes as planned.
No, yeah, no doubt. And you say you feel well prepared, everything confident. Now, what are your thoughts though on Sean Strickland's style? It's a weird style. Like, is this a style you think you're gonna have a lot of success against going in next weekend?
Yeah, but I think that Sean Strickland is a tough matchup for anybody, and he shows that by, I think he has 24-3 in record. He's only been finished once, and he's a really solid fighter. I think he's undefeated in middleweight. A good win streak now. So you gotta respect Sean Strickland and his abilities. Um, he's very durable. He likes a high pace in the fight. Sean Strickland is a tough fight. But with that being said, I think I know how to beat him, and I'm not planning on having a long, grueling fight with him. It's going to be a quick, clean finish. Show everybody that I can do something against Sean Strickland that nobody else can, and solidify my position in the middleweight division. Show everybody that I'm a title contender as well.
Yeah, like you said, Sean is a very tough guy. But another thing about him is he's like very interesting. I don't know if you've seen his Twitter before, a lot of interesting stuff in there. Also in the cage,
Yes.
he likes to talk a lot of trash. Now, say he starts talking trash to you on next weekend on Saturday. Will you go back with him, or are you just going to be focused on the fight, getting it done with?
Yeah, you just need to focus on your tasks.
Mhm.
I'm not used to talking trash, so if I start to do that, I might be unfocused, so I'll try to keep my mouth shut and just focus on the tasks. But I'm definitely preparing mentally, visualizing him talking a lot of shit.
No, he certainly does talk a lot of shit. I don't know if you've seen his one video. He knocked out one of his partners in sparring and he posted it on Twitter. Like, yeah, he is
Yeah,
a crazy funny guy. But you're coming
yeah.
off a really great win back in May against Edmund. Now, do you think this fight could play out similar to that? A little slow start, but as the fight goes on, you just dominate. And your performance against Edmund was nothing short. You just dominated, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, thank you. It could be, but I hope that it would not, because like coming into the Shabasian fight, I was extremely, I just had COVID leading up to that fight, and I was really sick actually. So my shape getting into that fight was not very good, and hopefully my mind and my head will be a little bit sharper from the get go. and I will be able to finish the fight earlier in this one, and that's what I'm gonna work for. But I know that I have the capability to push through, and usually, and naturally I'm a slow starter, but I've been really trying to and training for getting quicker and yeah, getting more dangerous from the start of the fight. So looking for an early finish in this one, not a late one.
Yeah, and you said you got COVID before the last fight. Now, is everything good now? Like no more effects from it? Everything's well?
Yeah, I feel recovered from it, and I don't feel like it's affecting me anymore.
Okay, that's good to hear. And now next weekend, official prediction. Do you think you go out there, you get the finish, maybe another heel hook finish like against Kelvin Gastelum?
That could be a possibility, but my prediction would be, some ground and pound finish is
Okay.
probably most likely outcome.
Yeah, and like do you think like Sean's like in for a little surprise? Because like do you think you're his toughest opponent yet? Because like he has faced tough opponents, but do you think you're the toughest one yet?
Yeah, I think so, and I think a lot of people are gonna be shocked if I end up on top on the ground.
Yeah.
I think it's a feeling that they haven't felt before, and I think even if Sean is experienced, it's gonna be a surprise for him if the fight ends up there. But I know it's hard to take him down, so I need to bring my A game in the stand up as well.
Yeah, well, I cannot wait for that fight next weekend. A very fun matchup. Now you go out there, you finish Sean next weekend. What do you think's next for you? In 2 weeks, you got Izzy versus Whitaker and Cannonier versus Brunson's on that same card. So do you think you possibly can get the winner of Brunson Cannonier, or do you think with an impressive performance you can jump the line and even get the fight against the winner of Izzy Whitaker?
Yeah, I think both of those are good possibilities. The first one is more likely if the champion is gonna be injured after the fight and needing a lot of long layoff, and people need to fight, then maybe I could fight the winner of them. Um, with a great, flawless, impressive performance, I might skip the line as well. That's what I'm aiming for, especially since Cannonier has already fought Whitaker, Brunson has already fought Adesanya. So if the fans want something new to watch, then I'm the man.
Yeah, well, Dana likes when people go out there, put a impressive, dominant performance. And Izzy wants like it seems like Izzy wants new blood in the division. You know, he's starting to get those rematches
Yeah,
again. Now, you think would we get this soon between you and Izzy because he's mentioned you before, like the name to watch out for. He it seems like he's interested in that fight. So, do you think potentially Izzy did call out? I think it was Vittori after one fight or some.
yeah.
I don't know who or Whitaker. It was Whitaker, I think. So, do you think possibly that could happen? We get this matchup in the next couple months.
I think so. I think so. It's a possibility, and I'm gonna do my best to make it happen. And yeah, it should be a exciting one for the fans because I really think that I bring a special skill set that Izzy hasn't fought before, and it makes for an interesting fight.
Yeah, well, that would definitely be an interesting matchup. Looking forward to eventually hoping we get it. Now, how do you think that rematch goes though in 2 weeks between Izzy and Whitaker? Do you think Whitaker can change anything about the first fight, or do you think it ends up playing out like the first fight again?
I think he's definitely gonna take some notes from the Jan Blachowicz fight and incorporate a little bit more of his wrestling into the match, and that's probably gonna make it a tougher match for Izzy. So, but I still see Izzy coming off as the winner in it, but it's gonna be a different fight than the last time.
Okay, yep, and that's another fight coming up. Well, last thing here, can't wait for your upcoming fight. Thanks for coming on again. I just wanted to ask you about. I know you had a grappling match back in November with Khamzat Chimaev. Overall, what were your thoughts on that? Like, what would you say about that, and how do you think like it went?
It didn't went good. If it would have been it was a freestyle wrestling match. If it would have been a grappling match, I feel like we would have been on my home turf. Where I'm the most comfortable, where I feel like I'm the best. But I went into a freestyle wrestling match. It was the first freestyle match I ever had, so definitely went into his area there. That being said, I was disappointed anyway for losing the fight, and there's no doubt that Khamzat is a very great fighter and a very great wrestler as well. So he's definitely the real deal.
Yeah, so you said it, he's the real deal. Did you like feel that when you were wrestling with him and everything? You definitely felt that?
Yeah, absolutely, and we've been training together as well. So we're MMA training. So I knew that he was very capable and he has some great skills.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, thank you for coming on again, Jack. It was really great speaking with you. Good luck for your fight next weekend. And do you want to thank any sponsors? Shout out any social media? The floor is yours.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, and thank you so much to all of my followers out there. I appreciate you guys. And if you don't follow me, you can check me out at Jack the Joker MMA on my social media or Jack Hermansson on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care.
You too.